Hi guys, this is Mr. Saber. Today we will be going over how to engage with an educational video for class. Now, the reason that I'm giving you this video is obviously not because you don't know how to watch a video. You all know how to watch a video, but I'm talking about how to engage with one because we're going to do something a little different this year. We'll uh, place the direct instruction outside of class. Now, frequently those will be videos and sometimes they will not be. But if you're watching a video and not actually engaging with it, you won't actually learn anything. And when you come to class, you won't be able to perform on any of the content. You will have essentially lost half of the class time. You will have not done your homework. Um, So, I want to make sure that you are actually learning from these videos, and that will free up class time to work on, wait, I don't understand how this particular thing works, and let me go over some problems and have you check over them, and those types of things. So, the first, the three things that we'll be going over are one, remove distractions. If you are distracted, then you may as well not have watched the video. Second, this is direct instruction, so please do take notes. And this will also be helpful in terms of me knowing that you actually did watch the video. And third, please rewind and pause. That's one of the major benefits of uh, having a video as the instruction. You can't rewind or pause in class, but you can on a video. So let's talk a little bit more about removing distractions. So when I say removing distractions, you know what that means, but let me try to be a little more specific. You need to actually be spending your attention on the video. So that means you should not have, you should be removing your phone. You can certainly have your phone, but if you're checking your phone regularly, you're not learning. Um, Other websites, it's easy to have YouTube open in the background and go to Facebook or, I don't know, U.S. News and World Report, look at college websites. It's just not, it's not focusing on the content. You shouldn't be watching TV. You shouldn't be doing other homework. And when I say other homework, I include working on math problems that aren't mentioned in the video, because then you're really not thinking about what's going on in the video. You may as well have not watched the video. This is a bit controversial, but I think that most music will distract you because there's an auditory component to listening to a video. Um, there might be some exceptions, but anything with lyrics is definitely out, and many things without lyrics are also likely to distract you more than help. Pretty much anything else should not be distracting you, and those are the big examples. But if you can come up with others, then those also should not be distracting you. Um, so second, once you're not distracted, you need to be focusing as if you were in class. Um, so taking notes is an important part of being in class and retaining the material. Um, this will also help you when you come back the next day, or when you want to look at things in class to refer to it with problems. And this also helps me know that you did the homework. So the things that you are typically writing down, this is no different than in class. Definitions you generally want to write down. Major ideas. If there are common errors, make sure that they're listed as errors and not just, oh, I'm copying down whatever is on the screen, because it could be a false statement that I want to point out is false. So make sure that the common error is clearly identified as a mistake. and practice questions. So that means that there's an example, you want to copy down the example so that you have it to refer back to when you're working on your classwork. The one difference between this and an in-class lecture is that you can't stop me and ask me questions. So what you need to start doing in order to properly engage with the video is to write down questions that you still have. And I think that's a full sentence, so I need to capitalize that. Write down questions that you still have so that we can go over them in class the next day. Typically, I'll give a little bit of time for people to ask questions at the beginning of class after going over the do now. So please do take notes, and this is the one additional thing to the taking notes, that you should also be writing down questions. And the third thing is really great. It's rewind and pause. This is a major advantage to having in-class direct instruction, because you can control how fast the lecture is going. So let's say you missed something that I said, you can pause. If you misunderstood something, you can pause. If you zoned out, which is going to happen every now and then, let's face it, you can't pause and go back in time in class and say, sorry, I zoned out. You can with a video. If you zone out, I'm not recommending that you zone out, but if you do zone out, then own it and then pause and then go back. So these are all good reasons to rewind. Why would you pause instead of rewind? Well, if you want to copy what's on the screen, you can pause it. There's also the option of a screenshot. I'm not sure how useful that will be, but if you want to screenshot things and print things as part of your notes, that's very reasonable. Just remember that, just like right now, I'm not always writing down everything I say, so just having a printout of the slides will not be enough. Second, if I ask a question and I'm about to answer it, but you want more time to think, you can pause and think about, okay, how does sine look again? How does cosine look? Wait, oh yeah, there's a phase shift of pi over 2. So that's the difference between them. So you can think about questions that have been asked and give yourself a little more time if you want that. Do you want to practice? Do you want to try the practice problem before I do the example? So let's say I'm about to solve an equation. You can pause it and say, I'm going to do it, and then check it against me. But if you want to just follow along with me for the first time, that's also an option. So rewind and pause are incredibly powerful things, especially if you add in the screenshot option. And these are ways that you are actively engaging with the video. It is certainly not enough to press play on the video, let it go to the end, and then say, I did my homework. Because these three things I'm going to expect that you do, that you are removing distractions, that you're taking notes, and that you actively think about when you're going to use the rewind and pause functions, because they're incredibly powerful, and you should be using them. So, the big recap is the homework is not and will never be to watch a video. You're going to have to engage with the video, and that means doing those three things. Turning off distractions, taking notes, and using the pause and rewind functions so that you understand the content to the best of your ability, not just hear it. And almost always, once you're done processing the video, there will be questions to answer on a Google form. So not only do you have to engage actively with the homework, but the homework is not just read this or watch this or take notes on this, it will usually have some small question component. Thank you. I hope that helps, and see you soon.